Hello, welcome back, and good evening. So, by the way, we hit a new all-time high of 126,247 for Bitcoin. Great. It's Monday. No economic data to worry about this whole week. Maybe what the Feds talk about, but from what I see, there's no real reason for us to be dropping. Hamas deal seems to have been delayed and had no impact whatsoever. I mean, as long as they don't reject the deal, we're good, right? Supposedly they were having their talks today in Egypt. I'm not sure if anything came of that at all because I see zero news about it. Once again, it seems like taco effect kicking in. So we shall not worry about it. Bitcoin's super trend is on the rise to 119,644. It just keeps on rising at this point. Even as we're hitting all-time highs, we're not overbought, which is interesting. The current price of Bitcoin went 24,984, and it's still solid fundamentals at this time. So yeah, I've been calling for a drop a very long time now. Seems like this pivot level is starting to make a bit more sense at 119,561 to be our support. Sure, so be it. In terms of resistances, we got 129,120, and then the 135 target that I personally have. It's looking like that is just really close, isn't it? From where we are, that's just an 8% rise. Yeah, Bitcoin can do that in a week. Wouldn't you agree? We did it last week, and there's no real reason to be afraid. Do I regret this? Yeah, kinda. I have not been able to get back in, but it's fine. I'm still loaded up on alts for the time being. I did take some profits on some altcoins. Not some. It was just BitTensor. It was giving me such a good rise that I just had to punish it by taking some profits on it. And look at that, I sold the top. How perfect is that? Where exactly did I sell? 352? I actually sold the top. That's crazy. Purchase down over here. Average price was like, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. And we take profits at the top. Like I said, overbought, you gotta be shameless. Take advantage of it. You can't have positions open on futures market for too long, especially with a large margin, because the funding fees are gonna kill you. And if you hold it on for too long, price goes against you, you have the risk of getting liquidated for not using a stop loss, which I never do. And you also get those fees that just ramp up over time. I was holding on to Bitcoin for a really long time. Admittedly, I could have taken profit on the first rise that we had over here at 117, almost 118,000, but I didn't. I was making 8,000, 7,000, I think. It was 7,000 or something. And then I had to eat up this whole drop, which I could have re-entered by over here. And we were overbought around these areas, right? So when it comes to futures market, you gotta take profits. So that's kind of what I did over here. But this one is just like a natural amount of time that we are overbought ever since over here. Well, over here. All of this up to even here today. There we go. Nice illustration of a bubble. All of that is considered overbought. Like, when does it end? We're just going to keep on rising. We're just going to keep on being overbought. And we're never really going to get that swing downwards. Or maybe this is the psychological play that they're doing to us. They want us to think, yeah, this is not going to fall back down. It's going to make us FOMO in. And then it drops. That's just how it typically works. So don't FOMO in. What did I just do? Don't FOMO in. Don't, how would I say this? Don't enter where the price is not giving you an entry. All you really got to pay attention to is RSI 4 hours being oversold. As long as you are generally in an uptrend on the weekly charts, you're safe to enter. If the weekly chart you're seeing a bearish super trend, then you shouldn't be entering when prices are oversold because it will just continue going lower on a larger time frame, right? But here we've been in a green uptrend ever since. It's not showing me enough data here. But just trust me when I say this. We've been in a bullish weekly super trend. Default one, 10-3 by the way, since 2023, January. Non-stop. And we've used it as a perfect support multiple times as the price kept on rising. And as of right now, it is still on the rise. As the super trend climbs above 100,000, the super trend invalidates at 101,349, meaning that if Bitcoin's price does crash below 100K, you could say, the bull cycle is over, basically. You would be expecting a bear market from there forward until proven otherwise. JMB, hello, welcome back. All right. So I'm not looking at this anymore because that's outdated. Don't have any Bitcoin position anymore. That's fine. I entered a new position on Avantis. Oh my gosh. Plasma is going crazy right now. It's about to hit my take profit. Cool. Maybe we hit this live. Good. We're not even overbought yet, but once we do hit this, we will likely be overbought, and I'd be acceptable with selling the price there. Take profits at $1.10 with that. I'm pretty sure I set this up yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. XPL, Plasma, doing really good. It's about time. Avantis is what I entered, which is, if you don't know, it's another DEX. We're seeing a lot of DEXs starting to kind of come back in popularity. Aster, I've got a lot of news about it that I'm going to talk about, especially with what's going on with BNB right now. We also have many other DEXs. Hyperliquid, of course, the bigger hyper DEX. I'm trying to think what's the other one. Sun from Tron, which pretty sure nobody really cares about that much. We've got Bluefin from Sui, which they've got good plans, and I'll talk about them later on when we get to our news as well. And then we have this one, Avantis, which is from Coinbase. Got good hopes for this one as well. I'm noticing the price is practically at a local bottom. We were oversold very slightly right over here at $1.06, $1.05. And I see the price at $1.10. I'm like, you know what? I'll DCA a small position here because, I don't know, I didn't know. Everything is bullish right now. Bitcoin's still making all-time highs. I'm like, it's going to be a matter of time before Avantis rises in popularity once again, because when it did get popular, when the DEX war started, you know, every decentralized exchange started gaining popularity thanks to Aster being promoted like crazy from CZ. Even Avantis took advantage of this kind of movement and actually duplicated its price. So now that we're down here, now that people aren't really talking about it, but I'm noticing early talks of DEXs once again pop up on CT. So I'm thinking, you know what, now's the time. Even if it's a little, I feel like we are definitely slightly oversold, wouldn't you agree? Leverage that I have, JMB, is always 3x leverage. I feel like it's easiest to manage. You're very unlikely to get liquidated with 3x leverage, as long as you're being responsible with it. Of course, you don't want to go 3x leverage at the top over here, because at $2, or give me a rounded number, I don't know. What did we hit? 260, okay. I need a calculator for this, I'm sorry. What was that? 0.83? You would get liquidated at 177. If you were to enter like around these high levels, 177, you would have been liquidated right over here. And there's no entry over here. All these prices are overbought, right? So this is not a place to be longing. You long when prices become oversold, which that's kind of what we saw over here. The fact that it's oversold already means that it's more likely to reverse upwards. I usually go for longs, not really much on shorts. Very occasionally I will go on shorts, but it's usually like 99% of the time I'm long. And it's always 3x leverage, because from here to drop another 30%, very unlikely. And if it does, it gives you enough time to be like, yeah, I can add more to this position, or I could kiss this position goodbye and accept a whatever amount loss deserved, depending on whatever happens, right? If the price, if this project just dies, I'm like, yeah, liquidate my position, bye-bye, I'll go invest in something else that'll give me a greater return. So that's typically what I do there. But I figured, you know what, we're basically at the floor, So I think it's a good idea to just DCA a small, not a small position, but, you know, a decently sized position if I do expect a good return from it. So we'll see how that plays out. I talked about BitTensor, perfect sale. Let's move on to Ethereum. It was at 4,700 plus. We hit a high of 4,737, and it was giving me a good return on Ethereum as well. Super trend is catching up with this uptrend line, which is perfect. We stopped at a resistance over here, 4,761. I plan on selling. I know we're overbought right over here. I sold my Ethereum ETF position on my tax-free savings account, so that's gone. That's why I didn't sell on this futures account. But I plan to sell maybe around over here before we hit the 5,000. Or maybe we just immediately shoot above it. Who knows? Who knows how, you know, explosive this alt season might become. But I think I'm going to play it safe. So I'll likely be taking profits above 4,800, below 5,000. We'll see. Wherever I feel comfortable with. That's the plan. Okay. Solana also still in its uptrend. Ranging a little bit, trying to get past 237 is what it seems like. We hit a local high 237.88 today. Real resistance is at 243, and then of course 250 psychological resistance. But like I said, nonetheless, uptrend is still there. It invalidates at 215. My position opened at 207. It's looking perfect. These, I don't think they're going to get filled. And if I do want to reconsider adding positions over here, I'd have to adjust them. Because, you know, pivot levels keep readjusting. So, I'll get rid of these for now. Don't think Solana is going to be below 200 anymore. But you never know. It's a volatile coin, so anything can happen. XRP, still pathetic, still at $3, almost $2.99. Boring. Boring price action. Why do people even buy this coin? Am I right? The more I say this, the more I feel like one day it's just going to do like something like that, and we'll all be like, oh, okay, XRP, I didn't know you could do that. Because believe me, that has happened in the past. And when it has happened, it's been pretty crazy, huh? So anyway, never underestimated, but still, this is a little boring. I feel like we're trapped under $3 or around $3. It's like, come on. Go above 330 at least. I still have my position here, but it's very minimal. It's still a good idea, like I say, to have these because of the ETFs that we are expecting for this month. Although, the issue with the ETFs right now is the government shutdown. Are we even gonna get those anymore? Hold on. I had this XRP ETFs October October 18. There's no other XRP, right? Yeah, so this is the first one from Grayscale that will be coming out on October 18, likely, right? We just gotta hope the government shutdown doesn't last that long, you know? And by October 18, the SEC will likely be like, yep, you pass our requirements. Here's the blueprint that we provided. So, you know, ETF approve, ETF approve. Back to back to back on a lot of these. So that's why most of them got delayed to this time of the year, right? Because these have been proposed since like the beginning of the year. You'll notice the file dates: January, March, July, February, March. So, and even some from 2024, like one whole year ago. So it's about time that these start getting approved, and let's hope it's massive. Okay, SUI, 361. I want it up here, but it seems like it's not rising. 370 was where we topped out right over here, so we clearly have a resistance there. After that, we have our next resistance at 380. I do want it to be up there by now, but it seems like it's taking its sweet time. It's like we're waiting for Ethereum to make its move to 5,000, then Solana to 250 plus, then XRP to $3.30 plus, so that SUI can start being like, yeah, we're going to be worth $4 plus by now. Let's hope to see that soon. Super trend is maintaining itself well with the uptrend that we have drawn. Perfect. It invalidates at 333. My average entry is 332. Not necessarily really overbought yet, so I think as we approach $4, that's probably where I would consider taking a profit on SUI. You could argue, hey, am I doing this a bit too early? I would respond with, yeah, probably. But, I mean, it's not going to be up forever for this whole Q4. We're going to have down weeks. And I plan on re-entering heavily on those retracements that we get. Any drawdowns, drawbacks, pullbacks, whatever you want to call it. So that is the plan. Cardano, 87 cents. Still struggling to break this downtrend. Not much has changed. Super trend is on the rise to 80 though, so that's where the uptrend invalidates. We are technically in an uptrend, so that should give us more power. The more times we approach and touch this downtrend, the easier it is for it to be broken in the foreseeable future. So I know I mentioned that Cardano, it's probably losing its real potential, you know, because of every other project that exists that is probably better than Cardano, and the fact that it's already a very large market cap token. It's like, okay, does it really have any room to rise? The answer is, yeah, kind of. We might be getting Cardano ETFs too, so it's still a good idea to have exposition in it, but it's lacking. We'll just say that. 87 cents. Below in chunks. I know, right? You're still stuck on that 92 cents, Cardano. Yeah, hopefully we do see that 92 this week. First resistance we got is the 90, which would just signify this downtrend over here. But breaking that should take us to 95 easily, and then hopefully $1. So when we get a confirmation of this resistance breaking, yeah, you'll definitely be back up in the green. For Cardano specifically, I know I have this position open, but if you were to ask me where I would take a profit, I genuinely don't even know. Anything above $1 is probably what I would go for. Obviously, it has to be over $1 for me to see anything significant. What did I put? I think I put like some absurd take profit, $2. Yeah, like that's ever going to happen, am I right? We'll see. Who knows? Really, all you got to do is duplicate its market cap, and Cardano has a market cap of 31 billion. Duplicating that at 60 billion. That'd take us, move us up like 2-3 spots. It's not that bad. But it seems like a dead coin for the time being. Chainlink ripping upwards finally. 8% up today. Okay. Interesting. So we ignore this resistance first. I mean, we had a pit stop over here. Broken out of this downtrend at last. I mean, uptrend was technically already confirmed on Chainlink, so that's good. Slowing down at halfway through Fibonacci level. 23.79. Our top was 23.41. Current price is 23.40. That's not too bad. Finally making something decent on Chainlink. Not necessarily overbought yet, meaning that price can continue rising to 24 plus. Let's hope to see that soon. Pengu and Bonk trades are looking solid today. You entered Bonk. I have not looked at Bonk. Let me have a look at that. I'm in Pengu too, and yeah, I'll agree. Pengu has been ripping it. Yeah, if you bought over here, would have been decent. I did not, so I'm missing out on this one. Congratulations though, if you're in the green with Bonk, it's good stuff. Where am I at with Pengu? Yeah, sticking to the plan. That's good. We're on the top side of it. Still got potential to keep on rising. We're not necessarily overbought yet. That would take us to this resistance at 0.35. We're at 0.32 right now. My entry is really solid as well. Same mentality, like, would have been a good idea to buy over here for Pengu. Same as with, you know, Bonk, which I did not have the chance of entering down here. Same area. But, I mean, the movement is pretty similar, so... And meme coins tend to move a lot. 9% rise today, that's nothing to sneeze at either, so good job. World Liberty Finance still lacking over here. Oh no. We're like hovering around my entry price. And Super Trend is lowering even harder. Yeah, I'm screwed on this one. No, I'm not. I'm not really screwed. I don't mind it. If it keeps on dropping, I'll just DCA another position, maybe around 1881. Round over here, maybe. wherever we become oversold on World Liberty Finance, I'll be DCAing a bit more and probably adjusting the take profit. We'll see where it goes though. Yeah, I'm not going to touch World Liberty Finance for now though. Stellar is on the rise too. 1% up today specifically, but I'm liking this recovery so far. We're finally above 40. So hoping that we can maintain that. Still expecting it to rise to maybe 49. I don't know exactly if it's going to hit that level, but whatever. As long as we approach it, we will check. If it's overbought, then gonna have to take some profits on that one. Sonic was giving me a really good return, and then it just came back down. Never mind. It seems like it's so much. Like, this tiny difference is $60. It's because I have so much invested in it. That's why. But hey, attempts are being made to break out of this downtrend at last. And uptrend is technically confirmed. Just adjust my price action a bit over here. Kind of got that one going on, which is decent. Staying above this pivot level 27. It's hovering at my entry price. In Avantis, where do I have my take profit? That is a good question. I don't think I have one yet. No, I don't. But if I was to put a take profit, that's tough. I'd probably combine like one of these resistance levels with a fib retracement like this, if this is bottom indeed. Thing is, I don't know if we specifically have bottomed yet, so it's a bit tough. One idea would be 42, but I don't know if that's going to be like anything decent in terms of monetary return. Let me just try 1.43. How much is that? 812. That's not too bad. Although I'd aim for something more ambitious, maybe like 170, because it's not like we're going to reach this up here again. I wouldn't expect it to, but at least halfway, almost halfway, you could expect it at 185 or 170. Depending on how fast we rise. So I'm not necessarily going to put one yet. Or maybe I will. I think I will. Just to have it there, at least halfway through. Let me average out these prices. 189.056, 185.976. So averaging those two. So 187 for the time being. I know it's a bit ambitious, but I'll probably end up taking profits earlier if prices overbought and we had big news that occurred already on it. So something like this is what I would aim for. 187. Gives me about $2,000 return. That's something decent. And how much is this in percentage? A 60% movement? I don't know. Something big is going to have to happen, but hey, we're seeing these kind of movements over here, so maybe we'll get that. What I really want to invest in is Bluefin from Sui. But it's not available yet on BingX, so, you know, blue is the ticker, but doesn't show up. I can invest in Sun, I could invest in Apex, but I kind of don't want to. Oh my gosh, Apex is 17% up today, just... And it doesn't even look like that much, because it's such a low cap coin. Interesting. This is like backed by Bybit, right? Another DEX. Where is it on CoinMarketCap? That might be misinformation, the fact that it's low cap. I don't know. Apex. I remember when it came out, though, it was pretty popular. It is pretty low on the market cap. 222. Where are we up? They also did a buyback program launch. Okay, there you go. That seems to be like the biggest catalyst for DEXs, and we're going to talk about this when we get to our news section in a moment. The fact that buybacks is absolutely necessary for your DEX to perform well, for people to actually want your DEX, right? A token burning mechanism and a buyback system with the revenue at least, or something like that. Hyperliquid's already done it. Spoiler alert, Aster is planning to do it. And seems like Apex is already... It already has that in mind. So there you go. Bluefin is also doing it. They just announced it. And I'm pretty sure Sun does it as well. I think I recall Justin's son talking about that he would use revenue to 100% revenue to buy back on the Sun tokens for his decks. We'll see. So that is my little technical analysis for you guys. Moving on. Tomorrow, President Trump will be hosting our Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, at the White House. They're going to talk about everything, the 51st state and tariffs, and then he'll meet with Eden Alexander, a hostage held by Hamas. Okay, that's separate. So, I don't know. Wonder what they will talk about, right? Here's a report card on how Prime Minister Mark Carney has been doing in Canada, and it's not that great. The tariffs on Canada before Carney, comparing softwood lumber, energy, critical minerals, potash, steel and aluminum, non-other Canada, US, Mexico goods, cars and trucks and copper, that has been added on, and everything else has practically been increased. The only thing that hasn't changed is energy, critical minerals, and potash, which it's still not looking really good either way. And more tariffs to come. We were expecting a 45% tariff on softwood lumber and cabinets and wood furniture, another 25%. And this is the guy that was supposed to stand up to Trump. Well, it's not been going great, is it? Anyway, that's just me being critical of Mark Carney. Chad Jeets, welcome. Thoughts on AGLD? I remember that project. Adventure Gold, is that what it is? I think. I have to look it up, hold on. Yeah, Adventure Gold. Yeah, I remember this one. I remember it being famous in 21. This. What was market cap? That's what I'm looking for. It's not even fully all the way up, but I still remember it. Crazy. Still got a low market cap compared to back then. Looking at price, it seems to be really stable. And a lot of the circulating supply is out there. A lot of the supply is circulating, so there's no inflationary risk on this one. That is a good positive that I'm seeing based off tokenomics already, right? Price and market cap, it looks literally the exact same, right? That's a good sign. And you're noticing 96 million tokens max and 86 million is in circulation. That's practically almost all of it. 90% of tokens are in circulation, which is a good thing. If the demand is there, it could really drive prices for this up. I don't know exactly what it does, though. I don't remember. Where's the About section? ERC20 token originated from NFTs. That's where I heard it from. Collection of randomized adventure gear stored on chain. So that's probably why we're seeing it where it is right now, because tokenomics are good. It's just that NFTs, they're not hot at the moment. Technically speaking, for the analysis over here, you had entries over here. Technically over here too. What was this? 29.73. Yeah, you had technically your last chance to enter there. Nonetheless, uptrend is here. It's looking the same to most of the price action of a lot of the other altcoins. So if they continue on performing well, Adventure Gold could continue rising. I would need like a weekly chart over here. How much history do we have on this? A pretty good amount of history. All-time high here. Not an all-time high. We reached 305. When was this? Oh, that's not the same as this, is it? December 2024. Why don't I see that? Am I blind? Oh, it is this. It says $1.70. Okay, well. Maybe low, what do you call this? Liquidity on the exchange causing these price jumps. That's probably why. It's got potential and it is at the bottom. With 3x leverage, you basically have little to no risk. A low of 2023 at 43. If you're using 3x leverage, you're getting liquidated at 39.40 basically, which that has never been hit. At least not in this chart. All-time low, 20 cents when it came out in... No, not when it came out. This is in 2022. It came out in 21. Oh. Nice. Is my internet okay? I think CoinMarketCap just crashed. Whatever. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's a decent play. It's got a lot of potential, but it's the issue with the NFTs. It's not really popular right now. Right? But nonetheless, it still took advantage of like just momentum when altcoins did start taking off, right? We see this over here in November when Trump victory happened. We hit a local top at $3. At least that's what it shows on my thing over here. And to go from 50 cents to $3. Do I really have to math this? I cannot math. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The 6x. I think that's a bit of a stretch though. NFTs would have to become like really popular again for me to have faith in this project. So me personally, I wouldn't invest in it. If you have a vision for NFTs, you think they will perform well or they'll make a big comeback, yeah, go for it. And the risk, I think the reward is worth the risk, so to speak. So with 3x leverage, even with that, you're pretty safe on it. Although, like I said, me personally, I don't think I would invest in it. That's my thoughts on it. Moving on. Young Hoon Kim, world's largest IQ man in the world, 276 IQ. I've talked about this guy multiple times in the past, and he came out with this bold claim. As the second Satoshi, I will become the second largest Bitcoin holder in the world, and my Bitcoins will be used to establish the kingdom of God in the name of Jesus Christ. Okay, at this point, I don't know if he's memeing or not, but hey, okay, he's smart. I'm sure he can make a lot of money. I don't know what his net worth is or anything like that, but he plans on becoming the second Satoshi. Okay. All right, pal. First of all, the real Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't have like the top Bitcoin holders chart, but I think it's like top holder is, what's his name? Satoshi. And then second place, it's either a close distance between Binance or Coinbase exchange, or probably even Michael Saylor at this point. The guy has 600,000 Bitcoins. Satoshi has 1 million, right? We have the US with plans from Cynthia Loomis to acquire 1 million Bitcoins. 1,200,000 to be honest, because they already have 200,000 Bitcoins, and they plan on buying 200,000 Bitcoins every year for 5 years. That is a plan that Cynthia Loomis has, which would equate to, in total, 1.2 million Bitcoins, which will be more than Satoshi himself if the United States gets serious in acquiring more Bitcoin. But that's going to cost a lot of bands. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford that. Anyways, Satoshi himself, I want to know the amount of money. It's obviously in the billions. Here. So he's got 1 million. If each Bitcoin costs 124, 617, 6, and 12, that is $124 billion. Satoshi Nakamoto has a net worth of $124 billion. Okay. This guy, you're gonna need not just 1 billion, but 120 of those. How will you acquire that? But like I said, he's smart enough, and I'm sure he'll find a way to afford it, but I don't know. Is he going to follow Michael Saylor's strategy, right? And even Michael Saylor himself, I think he's too afraid to buy at these high prices. He refrained from buying this weekend because it's at all-time highs. He's like, you know what? Sometimes we just got to sit back and watch the price do its thing. Let's hodl, guys. He's scared. He doesn't want to buy more Bitcoins at all-time high. Even though he said he plans on buying Bitcoins at all-time highs, no matter what the price is. Which, fair enough, yeah. I don't know, what do you guys think? And the fact that he's using this, okay, what do you mean by establishing the kingdom of God in the name of Jesus Christ? I don't deny the power of God or anything like that. Sure, miracles can happen, and big if true if he is able to pull it off, but it's like, I don't know if we should be involving God in the business sector. You can, but it's like, I don't know if that's that wise. Coming from a low IQ man like myself, that's my advice to #1 IQ man in the world. Anyway, Peter Schiff, Mr. Gold, the guy who's always anti-Bitcoin. He was literally trashing Bitcoin 1 or 2 weeks ago, saying gold is at all-time high. Silver is better than your digital gold, than Bitcoin. It's worth nothing. Look at the company's market cap website. Silver is on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is garbage. You guys might as well invest in silver. Silver is nearing its all-time highs. Bitcoin is far from it. Well, guess what, Peter Schiff? We came back this fast. Where is Bitcoin? We came back this fast in a matter of, I can't count the days, but that's probably a week and a half. So he's acknowledging our ownage here, like, haha, we did it. We hit all-time highs. This is his response. Bitcoin also made a new all-time high today, trading above 126,000. It's true, I seen it. 126,247. But in terms of gold, it's still about 15% below its record high. Oh, so now he's pulling out the forbidden chart, the chart that measures Bitcoin to the price of gold instead of, you know, we're used to seeing Bitcoin towards the price of USD, but he's doing with gold. BTC, how do I even find it? Is it just /gold? Gold. Bitcoin to gold. Do I just... no. Is it the XAU? Oh yeah, it is. Look at my intelligence. So this is what he's talking about. Bitcoin priced in gold, right? So that is still 15% below its all-time highs, according to Peter Schiff. Let me fact check this. Yeah, about 23%. What? Okay, were we talking about this? Because gold keeps making all-time highs as well. Let's not forget that. So that's probably what this is all about. 14th of August. No, that's wrong. That's just completely off. Unless we're talking about this local top, I need both hands on my keyboard, but I can't because I'm holding onto my mic. Yeah, I think he's talking about this top from August 13, when Bitcoin actually hit an all-time high of 124,000. I'm assuming that would have been the first time. So he's talking about that. He says, I still think it's too early for Bitcoiners to get excited about the rally. Until Bitcoin can make a new high priced in gold, it's just a bear market rally. Okay, pal. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. He's scared. He knows we're coming after him. What is this all about? December in 2024. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, anyway, speaking of gold, like, yeah, it's still making all-time highs. So close to 4,000. 3,977 was our high of today. Of literally just now. A couple hours ago. Not even. So there you go. But we have to look forward to this as well. The fact that the rise is not over and it will likely continue even harder. How much harder? I don't know. Some people are already calling for 500,000, which I think is an exaggeration. 150,000 I think is a safe bet. 135,000 is my personal bet, me being super, super conservative. But people with saying, okay, base case 150, bullish case 170, 180. Some even just say 200,000 because if they don't really know what they're talking about. I don't know. I'm not saying if you don't know what you're talking about if that happens, but yeah. M2 money supply is still on the rise, so, you know, Bitcoin usually trails that, and it's about time the decoupling just starts uniting once again. And if it does, it will be explosive. It's basically what the previous chart showed. And the fact that we're neutral at all-time highs, we're not greedy, is not necessarily a top indicator, meaning that we can continue rising much higher. Little metrics for you to keep in consideration, right? All right, Bluefin, the SUI DEX that I was talking about. They introduced the Blue Token Buyback program and dashboard. Over the years, Bluefin has evolved into a multi-product ecosystem powering trading and liquidity across SUI. Today, it stands as the #1 revenue-generating protocol on the network, on SUI network. At the center of its growth is Blue, which coordinates products, partners, and community governance, and the buyback program also serves as a mechanism to strengthen the digital asset treasury, DAO treasury. Oh my gosh, what does DAO stand for again? Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Never mind. I was thinking of DATS, Digital Asset Treasury. That's what confused me. Because it literally says treasury right after. What are you talking about? Anyways. And reinforce alignment between protocol adoption and governance. Good stuff. And this is a co-founder, Zabi. I think it's a co-founder. Yes. Blue buybacks have been highly requested in the community for a while now, but we knew that timing was everything. It had to come when the product and revenues were strong enough to sustain it. A complete product across perps, spot, lending, and vaults, and the leading revenue-generating protocol on Sui. This is a milestone for every blue holder. I agree, and I'm happy for this. This is the main revenue generator on Sui's network. With how popular DEXs have become, thanks to Aster competing specifically with Hyperliquid and everybody else trying to jump on board, Bluefin, of course, had some of that heat. How do I say it? The popularity went on their end as well, and same with Avantis as we just saw, and Apex as we're currently seeing. Buybacks. That seems to be what will continue to make these things grow higher. So we're hopeful to see that. I barely talk about BNB, but hey, it's hitting all-time highs as we also speak. Everything all-time high. Japan stock index all-time high, S&P 500 all-time high, Nasdaq all-time high. It's all happening. We hit a high of 1,239 today on Binance. Today, right? Yes. Well, yeah, this morning. Negative funding rate, by the way. What? This means that they're paying you funding fees for being long. The shorts are paying the longs. Possible top indicator? I don't know. This means a lot of people are shorting at these prices. Interesting. Anyways, yeah. Binance all-time highs. And Binance is now listing Aster finally with the seed tag applied. So we got the Binance listing on Aster. Literally, I was talking about this yesterday. I'm like, okay, what's next for Aster? A Binance listing. That's what a lot of people are looking forward to, and it just happened today. So congratulations, I guess. What is next for Aster? And Aster, did I even look at Aster's chart today? It's on the rise as well, 8%. It didn't crash as much as I was expecting it to, which I'm a little upset about. I was expecting the token unlocks, the airdrops, right, to make things crash a little further, and especially the drama with DeFi Llama getting delisted from there because of the fake volume, the inflated volume, so to speak. It seems like didn't impact it at all, meaning the community behind this is really strong, and they managed to push it back up above $2. We're currently at $2.05 with Aster, up 8% today, and with the Binance listing, it just further helped out with that, right? More access to Aster. So what is next? The rumors are heating up that Aster buyback is confirmed. We're just waiting for an official announcement from them. If that is true, it will be the next massive catalyst for our next move on Aster. And it's the devs that are talking about this on Discord, by the way, saying stuff like, there will be a buyback for sure. Need to wait for an official announcement. And it's not once that they said this. They said it twice. We have a buyback plan. And about burn, no information communicated yet. So nothing yet with the burn, but that would be like the next thing after the buybacks, right? Buybacks and burns. But buyback is basically confirmed is what people are saying. There are plans for buybacks, more details coming soon, and no info yet on staking, so that's also another thing that could come out in the future. So there's a lot of plans and reasons why people are feeling bullish on Aster at the time, because there's just so much that can come out with it, and the fact that CZ is still promoting it, he hasn't backed down on the project at all, and matter of fact, he's promoting it even more. It's kept the community strong and ongoing, and prices high, so good for Aster, I guess. I'm still not in it, and I don't plan on entering unless I see a good entry on it. One could argue maybe that was over here. Sure, but I didn't know. I wasn't looking. There's also this rumor, not confirmed, not anything like that, but CZ saying that he feels that Binance's profits could flow into Aster as well. I mean, we're already seeing them kind of cheating by combining the volume data. That's why they got delisted from DeFi Llama. But hey, if that's true, like, this is the biggest centralized exchange If you can bypass all the KYC and do it on a decentralized exchange, why not? On a centralized exchange, not your keys, not your crypto. On a decentralized exchange, you're literally connecting your own wallet, right? Those are just advantages that DEXs have over sexes. Just things to pay attention to. According to Forbes, CZ's net worth has hit $87 billion. He's the 21st richest man in the world right now. Crypto's making millionaires. How much did I say? This is Satoshi, 124 billion. CZ's catching up. Interesting. And don't forget Elon Musk is 500 billion net worth. Second place, I think, is the guy from Oracle. What's his name? Larry Ellison. He's buying TikTok. Rich people, man. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be up there. Am I right? No. In my dreams. Okay. Insider trade? Possibly. This was interesting news. And I'm upset that this happened because it has to do with AMD. Stocks time. Get ready. AMD, we know a computer runs on it. Makes chips, right? I had an entry price right over here. This is on a Canadian stock exchange, so the prices are different from the actual AMD. I was pretty content with my entry price, buying at areas where it seemed like it was oversold. And then price did a little blip up here, and I'm like, oh, it's a little overbought. I'm going to sell. And I sold. I sold my AMD stock right there. Next day, we pumped like, what is this, 30-something% to basically an all-time high. Almost all-time high. Right? So I missed out on that huge return. Anyways, insider trade right over here. 2 days ago, a whale bought 6 million of AMD calls, which was really unusual. And today, OpenAI announced a 10% stake in Advanced Micro Devices. Those calls are now up 300%. The guy just made $18 million in 2 days. That's crazy stuff. And they posted, is that real? If they did, I'm going to have to give this a follow. 2 days ago. Where do you go? 2 days ago. Where do they post this? I don't know. It seems like they do post a lot of other stuff anyway, so I'll still follow. Meta calls unusual. Meta's a good price to buy too, by the way. I was looking at Meta. Where are you, Meta? Here. I bought this dip today as well. Lowered my average price over here. Plan to sell whenever it becomes overbought. Yeah. Oh, Blow and Chunks, he actually denied the net worth number? I don't know. I guess it's based off of estimates, how much stake he has in BNB, right? And the price of it hitting all-time highs. I'm willing to believe he is rich, at least billionaire status. The exact number, sure, one could debate the CC's net worth, or maybe he's ashamed to admit, yeah, I'm worth 64 billion or whatever the number was. Yeah. Oh, and you sold Nvidia at 10% its current price. Oh, I know. Nvidia also. It was the same thing with my mother. She also had Nvidia and sold really early, and then it just had its explosive growth in the past couple of years. Yep, happens. Oh well. Speaking of OpenAI, after they've announced their 10% stake in AMD, now, well, this is something separate, a feature that's coming out. You can now chat with apps in ChatGPT. Basically, like anything on your phone, you could ask an app to create, like, okay, you can ask ChatGPT to do something to the apps that you have. So, like, on Booking.com, for example, I don't know, find a flight or something. I need a playlist. If you want to use Spotify, you can use Spotify for that answer. ChatGPT will connect to the apps and literally make a whole playlist for you that you can play and open in Spotify. So apps that respond to you. A cool new feature that's coming out with it. So good for OpenAI and ChatGPT. And there's a rumor going around that Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, is planning to step down as CEO. According to Bloomberg, John Ternus, so this is Apple's Senior Vice President of Hardware Engineering, is expected to take over. Do we even have any movement in the price because of that? If Apple drops, I'm buying. This is Canadian Stock Exchange. So no movement as of yet. I don't know exactly when this news came out. 11 a.m. today. So yeah, we would have known about it. Seems like it had no impact on the price. Okay. I was hoping it would crash or something, because usually when CEOs step down or something and we don't know who's replacing, prices crash. Like, remember when Warren Buffett steps down from Berkshire Hathaway, and then it just crashes because it's like, oh no, our legendary trader Warren Buffett is gone forever. He's retiring. Give the dude a break. He's 90 something years old. Anyway, he stands out among other potential successor. This guy John Turnus. After stepping down, Cook may remain as chairman of Apple's board, a path previously taken by leaders like Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. As it seems like, yeah, it's a typical move from the CEOs, kind of demoting themselves to give themselves less work. They're already rich enough, but they're still partly involved in the company nonetheless. So it seems like that's the next move for it. This guy might be our new CEO of Apple, John Turnus. Keep pumping to all-time highs so that we can make money. Great. What did I even do here? Oh boy. Okay. That is all for today. That is all the news I have. What to look out for? Wednesday. I will not be streaming tomorrow. So if anything important happens at this FOMC minutes, anything I could find on it, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll be expecting on Thursday Fed Chair Powell to be speaking and yapping about literally nothing at all because we have no economic data, so I don't know what he's going to talk about. Hopefully just reinforcing our ideas that, yes, we will maintain our provisions of having 3 rate cuts in total this year. That's what the markets are pricing in. 92% chance for a cut the next meeting and an 80% chance. These percentages are kind of going down. We're not even getting any economic data. We're getting some, but I don't even think it's going to come out, right? Like, this economic data did not come out because of the government shutdown. Or will not be coming out, rather, because that's tomorrow. Yeah. We'll see how long this government shutdown even lasts. I think I checked on, like, the prediction markets. It was something like they're expecting it... Like, there's higher percent chances of it lasting, I don't know. Over 20 days, I think it was. Could I find that tweet? I'm gonna have to look for Poly Market or something. Poly Market. Here it is. Oh. 60%, 69% chance the shutdown lasts over 2 weeks. Okay, well, that's not what I want to hear. But yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, so that's all for tonight, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the support as always. Liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. I will see you on Wednesday like